afternoon. This is Pat Harfst, Realty Executives, coming to you from the bunker somewhere along about day 24 of this coronavirus quarantine. There's a lot of realtors out there putting a lot of content out right now, and it seems to be centered on wash your hands, stay 6 feet away from people, avoid large crowds. Lots of, I guess, good information, but have we all gotten tired of hearing that? How about I dig into the archives here and give you some of my top 10 stupid realtor tricks. Something I need to do on an occasional basis. Remind us that, well, we're like any other profession. We got some bad apples in too. So in no particular order. Well, no, let me back up. It is a particular order. I'm going to work from the easiest to the dumbest. The number 10 is a doozer. But number 1, a sold sign does not make the home any more sold. And what do I mean by that? Well, a sold sign to a seller doesn't mean a whole lot. To the realtor, it means, hey, neighbors, I did a great job here. Hire me, call me. Can't reveal the sold price yet, but it's in escrow, and yeah, he's bragging a little bit. And to a buyer, what does a sold sign mean to a buyer? It means don't call. That's a don't call sign. Well, now, what value is it even to the seller if the realtor quits getting leads? What if the first buyer they have in escrow backs out for some reason? There's a whole bunch of reasons sales don't make it to the finish line. If the realtor quit gathering information from other buyers that might be interested, how does that help? Answer is it doesn't. So realtors, stop hanging sold signs. We get it. You're hot, but leave it alone. Number 2. Number 2. Advertising a home on your website. This is for you realtors out there. You advertise a home on your website long after it's sold. Now, you didn't put a sold rider on your website, did you? Because you want those calls. You want those people to contact you and say, hey, I'm interested in that home. It's a nice looking picture. Can we see it? Oh, well, that one just sold and we have others. Well, that's the old bait and switch. And nobody likes it. Everybody knows the game. So just knock that off, okay? If it has already gone into escrow and it's already sold, take it off your website and quit advertising it. And that goes for you too, Zillow. You guys are the worst. You advertise things months, sometimes years after it's sold, just because it's a nice looking front view. Number 3, cherry picking the comps to make your value look the way you want it to look. You're a realtor, you're meeting with a seller, and they're interested in what the home is worth. Well, what you do ahead of time is you cherry pick the comps. You take out the ones that were the very nicest in the neighborhood and let the sellers see only the ones that are on the lower end of the price curve. They're going to then underprice their home and it will sell quick. You look great, but you have just stolen equity from that seller. For what purpose? To give it to a buyer that you don't even know? To, have a faster payday? When I was brand new in business, years and years ago, there was a guy that got known as the neighborhood wrecker because he could get sellers to underprice their homes, and they all sold in a heartbeat for 99.5% of whatever they were listed for. Well, he lasted in business a few years, but then he disappeared. The neighborhood wreckers never last. Don't be one of those, okay? Knock that off. And right next to that, number 4, I have a buyer for your home. Well, once in a while that's true, but most of the time it's not. And if a seller says, well, hey, put them on the phone. Hey, they conveniently have somebody right there that can sound like an interested buyer. And then the realtor gets the appointment to come see the home. And once they're in the home talking to the seller, they're learning the seller's pain points, how fast they have to move, how nice is the home, what other things are going on in the seller's life. And if they're halfway trained in sales techniques, they can then use that knowledge against the seller to be the one realtor that is out there to help them out. And what happened to the buyer? Well, that home isn't going to quite work for that buyer, but they've used that ruse to get past the front door. That's deception at its very base level, and it needs to stop. Number 5. I love this one. Multiple offers coming in. I work as a realtor. We'll have buyers that are interested in a property. We call on it. We've seen it, and lo and behold, the listing agent tells us there are multiple bids already in on that. You better write full price and keep it clean. And so we do write full price, maybe a pinch above, and we keep it clean. And then sure enough, we get a multiple counteroffer form back. And that's a document that gives a buyer an additional opportunity to increase their offer a little bit. But where the whole process breaks down is the buyer's agents don't know how to write this up so that they're getting verification of not just an MCO form that said there were multiple offers, but maybe let's look at page 10 of those other offers. Let's see the name of the buyer's agents on these other offers that came in so that there's at least a small sliver of possibility that the listing agent is playing it straight, that we could call these other agents and say, do you in fact have a buyer for that property? Listing agent sent over page 10 with your name on it and it's got the buyer's signature on it. It looks like it's all valid. I just want to make sure. And it's not a perfect system, but it beats the heck out of just trusting the listing agent that there's multiple offers. MCO forms have an additional downside, and that is that they can scare a lot of buyers away. There are buyers that say, you know what, I'm not interested in playing the auction game. And bless their heart, that's their choice. If they're being played and they sense it, they're going to put their hands in their pocket, hide their wallet, and back away from the table. And that listing agent has just screwed up. So the MCO form exists for a reason. It needs to be used correctly, but not in a manipulative fashion. And for you buyer agents, you better learn how to actually verify that there were multiple bids, or your buyer is going to be taken to the cleaners. Number 6. Oh, the fake open house. Let's double end the deal. For all of you sellers out there, you have your home listed and the listing agent says, hey, after the coronavirus, listing agent says, hey, we're going to hold your home open because we specialize in open houses and that really gets a home sold. Well, the statistics don't bear that out. I've been a realtor a long time and I have yet to see somebody walk in and impulse buy a home. In my part of the country, homes have 6 digits, sometimes 7 digits in the price. This is not a pack of gum at the checkout line at the grocery store. These are $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 homes, sometimes higher. Nobody impulse buys a home. So for them to walk in and say, oh, wow, I wasn't thinking about it this morning, but dang, I cannot imagine not buying this home. That just doesn't happen. And yet, listing agents are out there telling sellers that, yep, I'm really good. I'm going to hold your home open and we're going to get a raft of offers. Now, reality is that maybe you hold the home open on a weekend and if it's been marketed correctly, you can in fact get some offers. But those were offers that were going to come in anyway. You could go away for the weekend as a listing agent, let the home be shown, and you'd still get the same number of valid offers. If somebody's impulse offering on a home, I dare say it's not going to be anywhere close to fair market value. It'll be way below that. And then right next to that one, number 7, the fake pocket listings. This one should be going away with the new rules that have taken effect in early April 2020, but there had been an epidemic of listing agents, and some firms really specialized in this. Off-market listings. Call us for more details. Well, the rules of the MLS are that everybody puts their inventory into the MLS computer for all the rest of the realtors and their buyers to have available for showing. Off-market listings goes against that idea, and the National Association of Realtors has taken some steps to hopefully help put a plug in that leak. We'll see. The most recent thing I've seen now is the sign is out. It was in the computer for 1 day, or 1 hour technically, and then it's off market because the new rule says it has to be made available through the MLS, right? And so now they're going to say that, well, because of the coronavirus, the sellers are not allowing showings. I want to see which of these homes are being shown during the coronavirus by the listing agent. If a buyer called, do you think that listing agent would tell them, nope, sorry, you can't see it until, after the quarantine is lifted? Oh, hell no. They're going to be over there. Maybe they're masked up and gloved up, but they're going to be showing that home because they want to double end the transaction. And if they're putting in the listing that the sellers are the ones that are directing that no showings happen, if that isn't true, I would love to see some penalties assessed on that one. So that's my hunch, is that one's being played. That little rule is being played. Number 9, and this is actually a 3-parter here. Brokerage fee is fixed. Well, no, it's not. There's no such thing as a fixed brokerage fee. You should always negotiate that. And if you have your own buyers, give those names to your listing agent, but give them at a very minimal fee. You're the procuring cause of that other buyer. Next part of this is the below market brokerage fee. A lot of listing agents will put homes in the computer and they'll offer 0.5% or 1% as the co-broke. Well, how fast are those going to be shown? And the answer is they'll be shown, but they'll be shown later. And I get that there's a buyer-broker agreement document available to take care of that, but that doesn't work in every case with every realtor, and a lot of realtors are scared of that form for whatever reason. And then the top of this little pyramid, this triumvirate, limited service listings. These guys operate on the idea that, well, you're a for sale by owner, I'll put your home in the computer, you pay me $300, and then offer whatever to the other agents. Typically it's the limited service model. Offer 1 or 1.5% to the rest of the realtor community out there, and then we'll get your home sold. In the listing it says contact the seller for showings, contact the seller when you write an offer, contact the seller for everything. Just send me the settlement statement when it's all done. Have the title company call me when it's all done. Well, if you're the seller that is dealing with one of those people, I sure hope that they've told you that, hey, we're not really doing much work here. We're typing it in the computer and then we disappear. Because if they're pretending that they're like all the rest of the realtors out here, if their website says full service all the time, but yet they're a limited service broker, there's a disconnect. And then my number 1 favorite stupid realtor trick: overpricing. Sellers want the highest price for the home. That makes perfect sense. And realtors will go out there and they know that seller's talking to multiple listing agents, and they just kind of let the seller tell them what the home should be listed for. They just agree, and they'll come bang on them later for a price reduction. Well, that is flat wrong. To not be honest with the seller right from day one, that's a problem. You don't get a second chance to tell the seller the truth the first time. So if sellers are falling for that overprice game, it's a little bit on them, but really it's the realtors that are bringing that card to the table to start with that I have a problem with. I wish there was a way to legislate from the commissioner's office that realtors be honest about pricing. I don't know how to do that. I know the agents that I train and the way I operate is, hey seller, here's all of the comps in the neighborhood, here's the ones that make the most sense, and we'll narrow it down from there. We're going to think like an appraiser and hopefully arrive at something pretty close to the ballpark where it should sell. And maybe we price it a pinch up so the buyers get some horse trading in. And for any buyers hearing this is not an awful way to do business. It's how it's done. But being honest with the seller from the start is the cornerstone. Everything else falls apart if we are not honest with the sellers, especially about pricing, right from the start. So there you have it. Sitting here in the bunker on a Sunday afternoon with just enough piss and vinegar to make me want to dig into the archives and dig out some of these stupid realtor tricks. They're still around. My name is Pat Harfst, Realty Executives right here in Phoenix, 602-432-4664 or patharfst@realtyexecutives.com. I promise I will always tell you the truth. The name of my podcast is Full Frontal Honesty. I don't have a name for the YouTube channel yet. Don't shoot me. Enjoy your day. Thank you.